My food philosophy is actually based upon information that I've gathered over 3 decades of research. And it is really quite simple, that you need to eat less and what you eat needs to have more. In other words, you want to have fewer calories and more antioxidants and more nutrients that come from plants. It's a concept of phytochemistry. It's a concept of foodology, where we actually use our food to control our destiny. We use our food to exercise our cells, to clarify our mind, and to strengthen our body. Food shouldn't be consumed for taste. It shouldn't be consumed for convenience. And although it should be part of our celebration, what greater celebration of life than to increase the strength of our immune system, to increase the strength of our body, because that will lead to a longer life. So my belief is that food is the reason why we are alive today, and it will be the reason why we will be alive tomorrow, or the reason why we might not. My food philosophy is the marriage of a 2,500-year-old tradition called naturopathy and a modern tradition called phytochemistry. Naturopathy is the belief that your body could completely heal itself if it's given the proper tools. And the proper tools are always a combination of good food, herbs, and exercise. Phytochemistry is the modern scientific practice of finding the blocking, suppressing, and repairing agents that each plant has within itself and using those to heal the body. The ancient art of naturopathy combined with the modern science of phytochemistry is practiced in a way that has never been possible before in history. Come on with me today, and I'm going to take you on a journey that will lead you to a long life free from disease. Early man learned to survive based on observation. They would observe the animals and see that if an animal consumed a food, then that food is most likely safe to consume. If animals avoided certain plants, those plants probably contained substances that would harm them. The observation and the utilization of the plants around them for survival was something that was very important to ancient cultures. We have incorporated the knowledge of those ancient cultures combined with research from modern science to validate the incredible impact that food could have on your body. Food can and does cause disease when we eat the wrong foods. Food can and will prevent disease when we choose the right foods. The question is, will you live consciously? Will you be aware that you are what you eat? And will you begin to make better decisions so that you can control your destiny and achieve the long life that you desire? Survival of the fittest. What exactly does that mean? That means that every plant that exists today is only living because its ancestors developed a tremendous defense system for survival. These are called blocking, suppressing, and repairing agents, and they've helped every plant on Earth deal with their environment and the stresses they encounter in that environment. Plants don't use clothes, they don't live in homes, and they don't take medicine. Everything they need to survive must be contained within their roots, their stems, their leaves, or their fruit. As human beings, we could learn to consume those roots, those stems, those leaves, and that fruit for our own benefit. If the plant could survive a certain stress, then that plant could help our body survive certain types of stress. This is the food philosophy that we practice, and it's been supported by science. My food philosophy is part of my overall life philosophy, a holistic philosophy that believes that the body, the mind, and the spirit must all be healthy, must be working in concert for us to get the most out of this amazing gift that we call life. So in addition to the nutritional programs I'm going to share with you, I also want to encourage you to exercise on a daily basis and to use the Tibetan rites and my core workout routine to strengthen your body's musculature, to increase your circulation and your flexibility. When you combine this with eating proper food, the results could be amazing. The compounded impact of addressing the body, the mind, and the spirit through meditation, exercise, and nutrition is something that is unprecedented in its ability to inspire energy and life force, that chi, the prana, that je ne sais quoi that we all desire. My food philosophy is based on an appreciation for life, on an appreciation for all the gifts that we've been given, and a desire not to waste this beautiful, amazing opportunity to experience love and joy and happiness. You know, I offer a wide variety of superfood options in the form of supplements. However, it's very important that we eat proper food throughout the day. And I think that means we need to keep our refrigerator stocked with fresh, healthy produce in the form of fruits and vegetables so that we could easily access it when you're feeling hungry. You open the door, you reach in, and you grab something. You know, families always ask me, how could I impact the lives of my children with food? And the secret is to keep your shelves and your refrigerator stocked with delicious tasting and nutritious foods. For example, the way that you slice an orange or an apple could make it a friendly finger food for your children with a delicious taste. But imagine you hand a 6-year-old child an apple that they need to bite through the skin. The first thing they taste is the bitter skin, and that's the impression they get of an apple. But if you slice that apple into small bite-sized pieces, your child is going to taste the sweet inner part of the apple first. They're going to be able to take a small bite that's manageable for them, and their memory of the apple is going to be a positive one. You could make this happen with carrots, oranges, apples, bananas, almost any healthy food. Just make it friendly for the person who's going to eat it, and their memory of that food will be a positive one. And in the future, when they think to themselves, what am I going to eat? They're going to reach for the healthy alternative instead of the snack that just might be killing them. You know, I think the secret to getting people to really dramatically changing their lives is to ask them not to change too much. And what I mean by that is if you take and ask people, what are your favorite foods? What do you eat often? What are the foods that make you happy? And then we'll take those foods and we'll change the recipe. We'll actually teach them to make the exact same foods with healthier ingredients, to substitute an ingredient that may actually be leading to disease with one that could actually make you healthier, lower cholesterol, or protect your heart or your brain. You see, a food is nothing more than the sum of its parts, just as we are nothing more than the sum of the foods we eat. If we prepare healthier meals, then we will eat healthier food. If we eat healthier food, we'll be healthier humans. And once that happens, then everybody's happy. I think the secret to eating healthy is to simply realize that you're going to eat several times each day. Be aware of that, anticipate it, and prepare for it. In most of our lives, we wait till we get hungry, and then we seek out the food that will nourish us. In my life, I seek out the food that will nourish me, knowing that eventually I'll be hungry. And so by keeping those foods around with you, by keeping a snack sack, that means whether it be in your desk at work or maybe in your purse, maybe in your car, you must keep finger foods, foods that you could grab instantly the minute that you're hungry, that will satisfy you and will satisfy you in a way that also nourishes your body. Remember that when you're hungry, the first thing you eat, you create a memory that says that food is good and it nourishes me. And if the first thing you reach for when you're hungry is a food that is actually unhealthy, you'll create a mindset that unhealthy foods are what you desire. However, if you keep healthy foods at your fingertips, when you're hungry, that's what you'll eat. And then your brain will associate healthy food with satisfying your hunger, and that is how you change your own life. Because in the future, when you're hungry, your brain's gonna think apples, bananas, maybe some grapes, maybe a handful of almonds, maybe a tuna fish sandwich on whole grain bread. But regardless of what you choose, make sure that the food you eat when you're hungriest is the food that will nourish your body the most. And you'll start to make that connection between your brain and your body. And that's the most important connection that you could make. My food philosophy is based on the concept of good, better, and best. We're all on a journey, and it doesn't happen overnight. All we have to do is make better food choices every time that we decide to put something in our mouth. We have to ask ourselves, can I make a better choice? Many people I know drink diet sodas, and the first step I ask them is to stop drinking the diet soda with the artificial sweetener and drink a regular soda. Even though it has sugar, your body might know what to do with the sugar better than it knows what to do with the artificial sweetener. And once you've made that transition, I might ask you to switch to a non-carbonated beverage. Perhaps it still has many of the same ingredients as the soda, but without the carbonation, it now does not hurt your body as much. You might transition from that non-carbonated sweet beverage to a green tea. Perhaps you'll transition to water. Perhaps you'll transition to a flavored water. But ultimately, you will find yourself having a healthier alternative each and every time that you choose a food to eat. This progression will take you 5 or even 10 steps, but each step of the way, you'll be going from not healthy to good, from good to better, from better to best. And this is a journey that may take weeks, it may take months, it may take years. But so long as you live consciously, so long as you're aware that you are what you eat, and every time you make a food choice, every time you put something into your mouth, you have to ask yourself, is this going to make me stronger or is it going to make me weaker? Once you realize that every single choice you make will have an impact on your body, you'll start to make better choices. And those better choices add up. The same way that eating bad food has an accumulative effect on your body that leads to obesity, disease, and a lack of energy, the same thing is true once you start to make better choices, good foods, and those good decisions also add up. And that leads to weight loss, increased energy, an overall feeling of well-being, and ultimately, our goal, a longer life free from disease.